A very good evening, everyone. So, as I already informed you today, that soon you will get the topic or get the video on the topic verbs. So, here I am before you with the topic. So, let's start without any further ado. So, as we all know, that simply verbs are the action words, and that expresses all the activities whether it is mental activity, physical, or the mechanical activity, all are comes in the verbs category. Okay. So now let's see the types of verbs. So in types of verbs, there are principal verb is first. Second one is the auxiliary verb. So the principal verb can be called as main verb, and it is also called as lexical verb. Sometimes you people should know about this also, that main verb, principal verb, lexical verb, it all are same. Okay, so it can be divided into two parts, that is transitive verb and intransitive verb. And now again we can break transitive into two, that is monotransitive verb and ditransitive. Sorry, there is an error. Ditransitive is there is a spelling error, so just correct it. It is ditransitive. Okay. So monotransitive consists of one object in the sentence, whereas ditransitive consists two objects in the statement. When I taught you active and passive voice, at that time I introduced these things, active, passive, and direct, indirect. At that time I informed you regarding ditransitive. Okay, so these are all transitive are the sentences which are needing objects to complete its sense, whereas intransitives are not required any of the object in completion of its sense. It itself, that particular verb itself, like she laughed, they danced, the sun rised, like that. Okay, so these are itself complete in itself, and we could correlate it that most of the time intransitives are simple past tense comes in, maximum are comes in simple past tense. Okay, so now let's start with the auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs, that can be divided into three categories, three parts, that is the primary auxiliaries, modal auxiliary, and semi-modal auxiliaries. So primary auxiliary we are going to study one by one. Let's switch to the next slide. Here is given main verbs first. Okay, main verbs, a few examples are given. You could see go, drink, be, have, play, write, see, all these are the main verbs. Okay, comes in the main verbs. So that way we could understand easily that how they are important, how they changes its forms when the pronouns get changed, when the tenses get changed. At that time they simply get changed. They're like went, gone, going, goes, all that forms. Okay, so let's switch to the next slide. Now I am telling you auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs, as we already studied, that they are break into two parts, three parts: primary auxiliary, modal auxiliary, and the semi-modal model. So in primaries, what will come? Be will be changed into different forms, like be will be changed into is, am, are, was, were, and do will be changed into does, do, did, and have will be changed into has, have, had. Next, in the models can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, all these helping verbs will come in this particular category, models. And in the semi models, these four will come: need to, dare to, use to, ought to. These will come in this semi category. Okay, semi model category. So when we use is used to, ought to is synonymous with supposed to or meant to. Okay, need to, as we know, that dare to we can understand. So ought to can be used as it is similar to the supposed to and meant to, right? So that way. Let's move to the next slide. Here I just repeated the, because two were missing in the previous types. There were no regular, and irregulars were not mentioned in the in that particular types. So that's why I thought it will be a revision for the rest of, and regular and irregular will be added. So that's why I added this particular types, this particular slide in this. Action verb, like, is the main verb. You could see the example: express physical, mental, or such actions. Jump, dance, think, all that. Intransitives are the words which does not require any object to complete their meaning, like she laughed, and this comes in that intransitive category. Then transitive is given that these are required particular object, like I read a book. A book is an object, so I read is just incomplete in itself. So a book is required here as an object. Next is modal verbs. Modal verbs can, could, may, might. These things are which shows the possibility, necessity, capability, permission, ability, obligations. To express these things, we require modal verbs, right? Auxiliary verbs, as we have mentioned, these are divided into modals, semi-modals, and primary auxiliaries. Okay, so they have by mistake they have repeated in this way. Our motive is to study about regular and irregular, which we didn't studied in the previous slides. So regular will be those which are like changed with ed at the end of the verb. They are ed added and it changed into, like, walk, walked, walked in the second form, and the third form ed is added and it is changed to jump, jumped, jumped, like wise. Okay, play, played, played. So these all will be regular, and these are called as the weak verbs also. Okay, and irregulars are always called as the strong verbs, and they don't follow the regular pattern along with ed. They change its form, like go is changed into went, and went will change into third form gone. Go, went, gone, like that. So let's see the next. So here are a few common examples are given for the regular one. Regular verbs: establish is changed into established, and established. Estimated is estimated, estimated. Expand is changed into expanded, expanded. So rest you can pause the video and read it further. Let's study about the irregulars. You could see the many examples of the irregulars arose, arising. Be, was, were, and been, and then beat, beaten, beaten, and become, became, become, bend, bent, bent, bite, bit, bitten, likewise. Okay, so just pause the video and read it later on. Let's move to the next slide. Now infinitive for finite verbs, right? Finites and non-finites, and non-finites are also called as infinitives. So we need to understand one thing, that a finite verb works with a subject and a statement to give a sense or completeness, as we have studied in the transitive. Intransitive is somewhere also similar with the same, because they are also changing as per the time or action, as per the tense, past, present, future. They get changed, and as per the number of the people, singular or plural, they get changed. As per the pronouns, first person, second person, they get changed. Okay, whereas in the infinitive verbs, it doesn't, it do not change their forms as per the tense, number of the people, or the pronoun, right? So in non-finites never get changed. Infinites are required to change as per the tense, as per the number of the people, as per the pronouns. Okay, now you could see the example that kinds of non-finites are there. It can be, non-finites can be divided into three parts, that is three kinds, that is gerunds. Gerunds are required: painting, reading, writing, means they carry ing form, and they treated as a verb as well as sometimes as a noun also. Infinitives are to write, to paint, to read, means they will always carry the verb, base verb, along with the to. Okay, along to will be always at the beginning of the verb. Okay, next is participle is again it is similar to the gerunds. Ing form is there, but they represent the present participle, and for showing the past participle it is written in the third form, like written, painted, read, all that, read, all that will be, and they are treated as adjective and verb. Sometimes as a verb they are treated, and sometimes they can be treated as adjective also in the sentence. Okay. So now here some sets of verbs are given. Basically the model auxiliary verbs are here: is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did, will, shall, will be, will have, should, must, should have, we have. So you can, this is a list of auxiliary verbs. You can read it further. Here I'm going to close my video because time is rushing fast, and as I always mention that time is our big constraint. At any time the video can be stopped, so that before that I have to end the video. Be good and do good. This is the only mantra to spread happiness all around you. So wherever you are, just have a cheerful face, cheerful smile, and spread happiness in your surrounding. So thank you everyone. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep growing and keep practicing. Thank you. Goodbye.